Alright, so for today's video, I figured we'd do a issue test, or fixing the issue. I just woke up, guys. Literally, I went to bed at 5:50 in the morning, and I just woke up now at 9:30, 10 o'clock, so bear with me. So I figured out the reason why Stage 1 Plus was not working in the first place, and the tuning issue was all fucked up and everything. And that's basically because when you do Stage 1 to 1 Plus, you have to actually do a reflash on DCU, not a real time. I confirmed that with LaShu Performance, their tuner guy, and he told me the same thing. Also, I've done some YouTube videos that I've watched, and they all did a reflash as well. So we're gonna try and do that. Install the intake, take it for a test drive, see how it feels, and hope for the best. So this is where all the magic happens. Now, before we get into it, I do know that some on YouTube videos, some people actually disconnect the battery. I don't know why. Maybe it has to do with something. I don't see any reason to disconnect it, but all this, we're gonna take it all out and get to work. So again, it's a very simple install. I mean, not that hard to do. I'm already like half done. The only bitch part about it is like getting this shit out of here. Like, and reinstalling it was hard, but getting it out is even harder. I don't know why, it's weird. But progress. I did actually blow on the mass airflow sensor just a little bit in case it's like dirty or anything. So it seems fine for now. And so I'm gonna also clean out like inside here where the throttle body is. I think that's where it is. And just make sure everything is clean inside and hope for the best, really. So when it comes to these turbo cars, in my experience so far, they're pretty delicate. I mean, you have to like really be careful, be cautious, and take your time with stuff. And when I also spoke to LaShu, I asked them like, what kind of tuning would you guys basically do for my car? And he said they would pretty much do the same thing. They would use my access port, do a regular tune and all that. Because we did have a discussion, and the guy from LaShu, the tune guy, said that if you're not looking to make any big power, there's no real reason to actually go put your car on a dyno and spend all that kind of money. I mean, if it's just your daily driver, you could just do a regular tune on your access port, like Stage 1 Plus, Stage 2, or whatever you want, and that's all. A Pro Tune would have been like around $600-700, but again, I mean, if you're not making this car into like over 300 horsepower, and you just want it to be a regular tune and all that, to be more like a daily car, daily driver, and just reliable, there's no need to do a dyno test. There's no need to put this on a dyno or anything, because that would just cost like unnecessary money for nothing. So that's my decision on why I am not doing a dyno tune on this car, is because there's no need for it, to be honest. I mean, I like the way the car performs just with the intake is pretty much what I like. I mean, it's more than enough for me, and I don't find that I need like 290 to 300 horsepower. I mean, again, it's my daily driver, and I don't plan on doing any big build or anything like that. And that's pretty much about it. Keep it simple, because once you start building stuff around, you gotta do tunes or change stuff. That's where it gets a little bit more complicated for this kind of car. Now, the only cool thing I know about this car is that once you have the proper tune, which I'm gonna do today, hopefully if it works, I could start changing eventually, like next summer. The turbo intercooler, which I really want to do, like a Mishimoto one. The GFB blow-off valve, that's two things I want to get done. A Mishimoto radiator and oil cooler, which is very important. And eventually, in the near future, if I still have this car, a bigger turbo. Now, I'm not sure if you need a turbo kit for that, or you could just buy the turbo at a company and just install it in a plug and play. I don't know how it works, so right now it's just all talk, but for now, we're gonna get this done. I don't know why, but I always have a hard time getting the factory airbox out. It's a bitch, but I got it out finally, and I'm super happy. Now we're gonna install the intake, the Cobb intake, and I pray to God everything works well. And boom, just like that, the Cobb intake is back installed. Now, we're gonna play with the ECU now with the Cobb access port. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I was probably doing wrong. Also, we're gonna make sure that there's no air leak coming from the holes here. And also, I wanna make sure the oil is good. I already checked it yesterday, so we're fine. I'm gonna take it for a test drive, make sure how it feels. And then we're gonna let it sit for, first we're gonna let it idle for about 10 to 15 minutes. 100%, we have to do that. That way you let the computer, you like learn the new modification to it. So I hope for the best. I really, honestly, I hope for the best, because installing this airbox and reinstalling it again is a real pain in the fucking ass. Like, honestly, a pain in the fucking ass. So I really hope this does work. I really, really hope, because again, Lashoot told me they would be doing the same thing that I'm doing right now. So all right, so I'll give you guys the best camera angle I can give you. So the car is not completely on. We're going to be tuning the car now. So we want to go to basically tune, obviously, change ECU map. That's where I've seen people do it. Instead of doing a real time, we're going to do a ECU reflash. Now, we were running the stage 191 stage 191, so we're gonna go all the way down, and stage 1 plus SF91, because so basically how it works is that oh, hold on a second. See, this is the shit that I get confused with, pretty much, is between stage 1 plus SF91 and octane 91. That's the stupid shit that I get confused with. So, I'm gonna probably just go with the octane, because that's supreme for me. Depends where you live, and I live in Canada, so that's where I'm gonna be pretty much. If I have any other issues, obviously I would probably reset the ECU, reflash it again, and go to stage 1 plus just SF. But the fact that we use maybe just go with this one here and just play with it a little bit. That's what I'm probably just gonna do. Just go with this one here. But I've seen others go with the octane part. So that's the only reason why I'm going to do that. Octane SF91. But boom, that should be the one that I'm going to be taking, because everyone else that I've watched has done it. A 10 amp car battery charger is recommended. Please continue. It's all good. Do not turn off or unplug your export. Perfect. I've done this multiple times, so I'm not really worried. The last time I did this was a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, so depends. Please turn off and leave the key ignition off and to begin the reinstallation, or whatever you fucking call it. So turn off the off position to begin vehicle reinitialization. Okay. Click continue. Please leave the ignition key off while the vehicle... Okay, so this is the easy part. Please turn on the key ignition position so the export can begin the reset procedure. That's exactly what I need. Just to the on position. So this is how you reset your ECU. And this is how basically you get the battery to like... the ECU to like get all the stage ready and get everything ready. This is probably the easiest access port I've ever learned in my life. Again, I got no experience when it comes to tuning cars. Change map successfully. Please turn ignition key to off position for at least 15 seconds before starting vehicle. All right, so we're gonna turn it off. All right, 1, 2. All right, so I did a 15 count. Change map good. Perfect. Now we're gonna turn on the car. Let it idle for 10 minutes. Now we're gonna let the car idle for a couple of minutes. It does sound loud because it's a cold start. We're gonna make sure that my gauges are all good, and I want to make sure there's no air leaks as well. Damn, and she sounds loud, eh, boys? Love it. And this is just an axle back, so imagine how crazy it is. Alright. Now we want to check for any air leaks coming out. Anything. I honestly don't feel nothing. No air coming out, nothing. Just a little air from the radiator, but not radiator, alternator, but everything's fine. Let it idle now for a few minutes so the computer could recognize the modifications to it. But it sounds good, feels good. I shouldn't have any issues. Alright, so what I went ahead and do is, in case this fucking thing decides to stall on me or bug out or rough idle, I'm keeping the factory air box, the intake and everything, all the screws and stuff in the trunk. That way, if my car, worst case scenario, if I got to pull over and redo all of it again, at least it'll take me a few minutes to basically install it again. And hopefully, you know what, hopefully I won't have that issue again. It does smell like octane gas though, I'm not gonna lie. It smells good though. You guys can see that obviously it's not loud anymore, but that was just a cold start. We're still letting the car idle up a bit, you know, letting it breathe. Letting it recognize the modifications. In the meantime, doing our cleanup. Everything looks good. I checked for any air leaks. There's nothing coming out, so it's really, really good. I couldn't install the bracket because, well, it's complicated to explain, but now we're gonna wait. Now in a few minutes, we're gonna take it out for a test drive and make sure that she is happy. Again, the problem I was having, I'll explain to you guys. Give me a second. Well, the battery voltage seems to be holding up pretty well, so that's a very, very good start. And the access port seems to be holding up pretty well as well. So far so good. Now we're gonna take it for a test drive. I do have my little phone mount, so I'm gonna position it in an angle where I could give you guys a nice some pulls and stuff. So let's just hope for the best, doesn't stall out, and then maybe later on today again we're gonna do another test drive to make sure that's good. I do gotta put gas in the car eventually. It's not gonna putting gas in the car again. I use 91 octane, so it's perfectly normal for me to have a stage 1 plus with octane. All right, let's hope this works. I'll be honest, it sounds really dope. It sounds really freaking dope. I don't have any issues. The battery voltage is staying the same. Everything is looking superb. So I'm very, very happy. Hopefully it keeps up still. There's a bit of pops to it, which I love. I love it. Oh, big bang. I don't know if you guys heard that on the film, but damn, big ass bang. Whee! You know, there's so many things that I love about this car, and a couple of things that I do hate. So the first thing I hate about this car, honestly, is the tuning. Like, I'm not a tuner. I know nothing about tuning, so I have generally no experience when it comes to this kind of stuff. But if there's one thing I like about this car though, is the fact that I'm learning a lot though. Like, first of all, tuning, I've never done that, so God bless America. Removing and removing intake boxes and all that, so it's actually pretty fun. I got cars behind me. We're gonna do a launch to see how she performs. Oh, nope, never mind. I thought I have to reinstall launch control. Damn. I gotta reinstall launch control. See, that's another cool thing. Now that I know, I have to reinstall launch control. So it's around 3,500 RPM, which is a safe zone for my car. I mean, it's not too crazy, it's not too hard. So we're gonna just pull over right here, and I'm gonna reinstall the launch control. All right, launch control, baby. Let's go. Holy shit! Holy shit, that kicks. God damn. Holy shit, this thing kicks. And when I mean kick, I mean this thing just pulled me back in my seat. Like, literally pulled me back in my seat just now. Wow. This is why I love my car, because like you could modify it and still have such a great time driving it. And what I also love about like the intakes and all modifications, the more modifications you put generally is basically you're making your car more reliable. You're giving it more air to breathe. I think that's a cop behind me. Yeah, is that a cop? Oh yeah, it's a cop behind me. Yeah, that's a cop behind me. Oh shit. No, never mind. Fuck the police. Whew. Y'all also gotta watch out for the cops, yo. I had one chasing me the other day. My friend was literally behind me. We're going home from work, and all I see is a cop literally cut right in front of him, and he was tailgating me. That's one thing I don't get. Why are cops allowed to tailgate you when they want to run your plate or anything? But yeah, when we tailgate people, it's against the rules. It makes no sense. They always break the rules somehow, some of them. But I'll never forget that cool cop that pulled me over just like a couple of weeks ago. One of the chillest cops I've ever met in my life. I don't know who he is, but shout out to him for real. So we're gonna do 2 polls over here on my street right now. It seems pretty safe and good. It is Sunday, so there's probably kids and stuff, so we don't want to go crazy, but yeah. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope you guys learned something from it as much as I learned something from it. So far, the car feels the exact same way as I installed it previously. However, I did a reflash instead of a real time. So we're gonna see the difference. We're gonna see, give it a couple of hours, give it a couple of days, see how the car handles it and how the ECU does. Again, I have all my tools and I have the factory air box in my trunk in case the car falls out of me again. Reinstall it. Simple thing. And hope you guys are being safe. Keep your distance. Be safe. Be good to one another. Be kind to one another, guys. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace and love, baby. Oh!